I thought what was good about punk was that they wanted to cut the crap, that they were shaving off a lot of excess, and that what we were going to get back to was 2.5 minutes of something solid. And in that respect, I think the other soft boys thought this is good. You know, we weren't. None of us wanted 5-minute keyboard solos. We weren't taking the kind of things that made you think they were good. And arguably, any kind of music that relies on adjusting your perception to enjoy it is dodgy. You know, I loved Pink Floyd and the Beatles and Jimi Hendrix and Traffic before I'd ever even smoked a cigarette. You know, I think I'm just starting on coffee. You know, I didn't need to be enhanced to like that stuff. And it's arguable about whether your creativity is stimulated or killed by drugs and things. But anyway, you know, I feel like 5-minute solos came out of the dope and headphones era. The thing, you could put the headphones on, you could adjust your perception with narcotics, you could hear the 5-minute solo coming along, it would sort of do a little turn in the middle of your head, start to walk off that way, and then go whooshing back, and then go over there, and you go, wow. Oh, have I heard that yet? Yeah, you've heard it. Do you want some tea? You've got some. Oh, shall I make some tea? It was like, you know, Alzheimer's for people who no longer had a water fight. And I remember coming down to see what it was all about and seeing this band, the Fruit Eating Bears, first at the Brecknock. And the Fruit Eating Bears, there were 3 or 4 of them, and they were tall guys. They looked like very tall, kind of stretched mechanics. And they looked as if they were going to take things out of a tree and then start eating them. Not necessarily fruit, but they looked kind of vaguely threatening. I think one of them was left-handed, which is always a bit magnetic. And I thought, wow, this is punk, this is new wave, you know, and this is what's going on, you know. This is before mobile, so you couldn't text everyone and say, hey, I've just spotted some new wave bands, you know. And then we went to see the Vibrators at Dingwalls, who they played 2 sets of half an hour each, and they ran in and out of the pillars at Dingwalls the whole time. They just moved. It was like sort of a sped up film of tropical fish. It was fun, you know. They were just zooming around like that. They weren't actually that young, you know, but they were the first thing we saw that we thought, wow, okay, this is it, you know. Put a tick there. We've seen a new wave band. Then the Damned played at Cambridge Corn Exchange about a week later, and they did what state-of-the-art punk was then, which was half an hour. They did the new album, and that was it. Maybe they encored by playing the album again or something, but it was a snap of a finger, you know. We couldn't do it the last 2 years, so last year I said, you know, we'll definitely do it this year, and bingo, here we are. Captain Beefheart, as you know, died a couple of months ago, and I was a big fan. The most exciting gig I ever saw was Beefheart at the Colston Hall, Bristol, in 1973. He was a big guy, and he came on with this sort of like that, and the whole room vibrated. The low frequencies coming from his voice through the mic and the PA. They just learned how to make super loud PAs. It was the height of sort of PA and machismo, you know. There was gear with extra gear everywhere. Beefheart was a big man at that point. It was before he'd started to kind of contract inwards, and he was just large, and he'd sort of elbow the musicians out of his way, and they'd run around. Needless to say, we're not doing that at Wychwood. I mean, what you're gonna get is me imagining that while I'm playing it with some of my favourite British musicians. And it gives me an excuse to play all these songs I grew up with. I'm not actually nostalgic. What was great about it was that it happened then and it won't happen again. But there would have been no Soft Boys or Egyptians. Well, there'd have been no Robyn Hitchcock songs if it wasn't for those songs.
Sure. Yeah.
But I think that the attitude of the music was something that I cherish and I want to carry on for as long as I can. And that means playing those songs and writing my own stuff. I suppose informed is the word by that. A lot of what I'm doing this year is actually other people's old songs. You know, I mean, like if I sing Visions of Johanna by Bob Dylan, with all due respect or none, depending on which way you want to see it, Dylan isn't going to sing it like I do. You're not going to make out a word he's saying. He won't sing the tune. People will sit there taking notes as if they were looking at a rare crocus. What is it? I think it's... Oh, right. I think it's Visions of Johanna. John Lennon's gone, George Harrison's gone, Syd Barrett's gone, Captain Beefheart's gone, Nick Drake's gone. You know, all those people can't do those songs anymore. You know, they didn't want. I can, and I can also do Robyn Hitchcock songs for what they're worth. But I'd say go and listen to Clear Spot. We will be doing our version of it, but listen to the Captain and the Magic Man doing it, and you know, we're not gonna. It's not a copy. We're going to be struggling to get it right at all, but we will. It'll be in that spirit, and I think that's a record that anyone who likes rock music, certainly anyone who likes what I do, and anyone who likes the people I like, will probably dig. I would say all your money back.